Hello. Today we are going to provide an overview of the UB School of Nursing RN to BS program, including the application process and steps. Before we get started, we do want to emphasize that everything we will talk about today is based off of our current RN to BS program at the time of recording in March 2026. Should you choose to apply to UB, you will be required to meet any enrollment and registration requirements in place at the time you begin the program. We will start with an overview of the RN to BS program. Our RN to BS program is 100% online and asynchronous, so you would never be able to or never be required to come to campus, and you can log on at any time to complete the coursework. Our program is 30 to 32 credits. There are 30 RN to BS nursing credits, and then the other 2 credits are UB curriculum credits, which are required for students who do not have a previous bachelor's degree. During your first semester at UB, you would take a 1-credit UB seminar, and during your last semester at UB, you will take a 1-credit UB capstone. We'll talk a little bit more about the UB curriculum in just a few minutes. Our program starts new students in the spring and fall semesters, and it can be completed in 3 to 6 semesters, including summer semesters. Our 1-year plan is our full-time option. This is going to be 3 semesters of 4 to 5 courses per semester. This is the equivalent of working a full-time job, so it can be pretty intensive for some students, but other students really like to have the option to come in, focus on their coursework, and have completed the program within that 12-month time frame. We also have our 2-year plan, which is our part-time option. This is typically 6 semesters of 2 to 3 courses per semester. It's the same courses, we just spread them out over that 2-year plan. This is a really great option for new nurses or students who have a very busy personal or work life outside of school. There is a clinical component as part of the RN to BS program. There are 3 clinical courses in the curriculum. The first clinical course will be completed during the first semester of the program. The second clinical course will be completed in the second or a middle semester of the program. And the third clinical course will be completed during the last semester of the program. Clinical hours for the RN to BS program are going to look a little bit different than maybe what you currently are experiencing in your associate's degree program or what you did experience. All of your hours will be completed through projects and assignments within your courses, so you would not have an additional clinical practice site. During your last semester of the program, you will complete an evidence-based project within your place of work, so we'll take advantage of where you are already working as a nurse as the setting for that project. We also have a co-requisite for the program, which is a statistics course that must be completed with a grade of C or higher. If you've completed a transfer statistics course, that may be able to satisfy our requirement. Otherwise, we would have you complete our 100% online nursing statistics course during your first semester of the program. In addition to the statistics, we do have some other graduation requirements that all of our students need to meet. First is going to be the 120 total credit hour requirement. This is pretty standard. Typically, no matter where you get your bachelor's, you're going to need at least 120 credits. Our program is 32 credits, so if you take the 32 from the 120, that does leave you with the remaining 88 credits that need to be completed. Generally, a majority of these credits are satisfied through transfer credit. Most of the nursing programs that we see are 64 to 65 credits, so obviously that is a majority, but it is not all of those 88 credits. If you have completed any other programs, degrees, or credits, we will take those towards your 88 as well, but if you're still missing some, they can be satisfied with any other requirements that we are just about to talk about. If you still need to complete any elective credit, we have online asynchronous courses that we recommend to our RN to BS students every semester, and you'll be able to take those right alongside your nursing courses. We also have our upper division requirement. Students are required to complete 45 credits at the upper division, which is the 300 or 400 level courses, including those within the major. You will earn 31 upper division credits from our RN to BS curriculum. So again, if you take the 14 or the 31 away from the 45, that does leave you with the remaining 14 credits that need to be completed. Just like the previous requirement, these can be satisfied using transfer credit. One of the nice things about this requirement is that courses satisfy the upper division if they are at the 300 or 400 level at the institution that you completed the course, or if they are equivalent to one of our 300 or 400 level courses here at UB. Since most of our students are coming from community colleges that may not offer upper division courses, you don't need to worry that you may be transferring in 0 upper division credits because there are some courses that we see frequently counting towards this requirement. Typically, the ones we see most often will be anatomy and physiology, microbiology, lifespan or developmental psychology, and sometimes pharmacology, depending on how that course is coded. Again, this is not a finite list. Those are just the ones we see the most often, and there are other courses that students have transferred in towards this requirement in the past, and it is uncommon for a student to transfer in 0 upper division credits. Finally, we have our general education curriculum, which we call the UB curriculum. Again, this is not required for students who have a previous bachelor's degree. There are general education areas in English composition, diversity, social science, U.S. history, humanities, art, world history, and world languages. You do not need to complete a course in every single area, and you may be able to transfer courses in towards the general education curriculum. Students are frequently transferring in English courses, intro to psychology, intro to sociology. So if a student is missing any general education courses, typically they may just need to take 1 or 2 additional courses here at UB. I know that this is a lot of different requirements and it can be confusing to know how this would apply to your specific situation. So we are always happy to do transcript evaluations for prospective students. We have a transcript evaluation request form that is available on our School of Nursing website, and we also have the QR code for that form here on the screen. We will ask that you submit separate unofficial transcripts for every school that you have attended. So even if you took just 1 course there, we do need a separate transcript for that school. Then we'll take a look at your transcripts and give you an idea of where you stand with regards to all of these requirements, as well as the statistics co-requisite that I mentioned. And then if you are missing any courses, we are happy to work with you to find options to complete those prior to enrolling you at UB if you wish. Otherwise, all of those additional requirements can always be completed here once you start the program. Evaluations are completed via email, typically within 5 to 7 business days. You may get your evaluation back a lot quicker than that, but it does vary based on the time of year and anything else that we may have going on at that time. Next, we will shift gears and talk about the admissions and application process. For our admissions requirements, students must have earned an associate's degree in nursing from a regionally accredited institution. Students attending diploma or hospital programs that are not regionally accredited are not eligible for our program. All students must have a valid/active unencumbered U.S. RN license prior to the 2nd semester of the program. This is going to be a firm deadline for all students. Students who have not passed the licensure exam by their 2nd semester will be required to take a leave of absence, but you would be able to rejoin the program at a later date once you have your RN license. We also require a resume as part of the application process, and that is emailed to our office. It's nothing special, nothing fancy. I'm sure you already have a resume, but the sections that we'll be taking a look at will include your education section with any degrees that you have earned or anticipate earning, as well as when you graduated. So if you are currently enrolled in your nursing program, please be sure to include that, as well as when you expect to graduate. We'll also take a look at any current or past employment, including any relevant nursing employment. Please try to submit your resume as a PDF file attached to your email. We have had some issues with files that we cannot open or access, so be sure to submit as a PDF so that nothing is slowing down the review of your application. We also have a recommended GPA requirement, which is a 2.5 overall undergraduate. This is going to be a cumulative GPA. It will not be just your nursing courses, not just your associate's degree. We will look at all of the undergraduate credits that you have completed. If you have below a 2.5, you are still eligible to apply to our program, but we would just require some supplemental materials as part of the application process. And if that applies to you, We will reach out to you during our review with more information on what materials we need from you, as well as a deadline for submission. We also recommend at least part-time RN employment for the duration of the RN-to-BS program. Prior to your last semester, you will complete an RN employment attestation form, which just lets us know that you're working as a nurse and where you're working. And that is because of that final clinical project that I mentioned previously. During your last clinical course, you're completing an evidence-based project within your place of work, so we want to make sure that you have a setting for that project. Since this is a recommendation and not a requirement, if you are not yet working as a nurse by your last semester in the program, that's totally fine, and we would just work with you and your faculty member to determine an alternative option for how you will complete that project. Most students, if not all, are typically working as nurses by that point, so that isn't something that you would need to worry about at this point. We have an early assurance option for students who are currently enrolled in their associate's degree program. This allows you to start in our program the semester after graduating. Early assurance will only apply to students who are graduating with their nursing degree in December and starting the RN-to-BS program in the spring, or graduating in August and starting the RN-to-BS program in the fall. If you will be graduating in May, you are considered a regular admission because you would be enrolling in the fall semester. The application process and timeline for early assurance students is the exact same as all other applicants. There is nothing different that you would need to do as part of your application. You don't need to mark any specific box or indicate anything different on your application. We would be able to see from your current transcript as well as your resume when you are expecting to graduate, and we will add that label internally on our end to your application. Just like all other students, early assurance students are still required to submit their RN license by the second semester of the program. Again, if you are not yet licensed by your second semester, you would be required to take a leave of absence. Finally, we do require that our early assurance students start the program on that 2-year part-time plan. This is very important to our faculty and our RN-to-BS program coordinator, as we know that our new nurses are going to be preparing to take the NCLEX, or maybe you just took it and now you're looking for a job or starting your new RN position, and those jobs can have pretty intensive onboarding and orientation periods, so we want to make sure that you're not taking on too many things at a time. If you are interested in doing the program on that 1-year full-time plan, you would be required to wait at least 1 semester before starting the program. For our December graduates, you would be able to start the program full-time the following fall. For our August graduates, you would be able to start the program the following spring. So moving on to our application process. The application process is very straightforward. Each August, the application opens for the following calendar year. Your first step will be to complete the UB application. If you are a transfer applicant, you will apply on the SUNY website. This is also linked on the UB admissions website. You will select your term, so either the spring or fall semester, and the campus is the University at Buffalo. This may seem self-explanatory, but we do have another SUNY in Buffalo called Buffalo State University. This is a different institution, so you'll want to make sure that you're selecting the right campus. For major, you'll be choosing nursing, and it will say in parentheses RN-to-BS RN license required. Please be sure to select the correct major, as we have multiple nursing programs here at UB, and if you apply to the wrong major, we may not catch your application. If you can't find the RN-to-BS program as a major option, you'll want to check back at your campus. Buffalo State does not offer this program, so you'll want to make sure that you're updating to the University at Buffalo. There is a $50 application fee associated with that transfer application as well. If you've previously attended UB as an undergraduate student, you will submit the reentry application, which is an electronic form on the UB admissions website, and there is no fee associated with that form. Your next step will be to submit official transcripts from every school that you've attended to UB admissions. You can either mail physical transcripts to their office or have them emailed, and their address is here on the screen. If electronic transcripts is an option for your institution, we always recommend that, as it is much quicker and they are much less likely to get lost along the way. But of course, not every institution offers electronic transcripts, so they can be mailed as well. If you previously attended UB as an undergraduate student, you do not need to request your UB transcripts. We are able to pull those for you, but you will be required to submit an official transcript for every school that you have attended since you last left UB. Please be sure to send transcripts to UB admissions. Do not send transcripts to the School of Nursing. We are not involved in transcript processing, and any transcripts we receive will seriously slow down the review of your application. Your last step is to submit your resume, and again, that is emailed to the School of Nursing directly. In terms of our admissions process, admission to the R&DS program is a two-part process. Applicants must first be admitted to the university, and then they must be admitted to the program in the School of Nursing. The first step is UB admissions will review your application. Your application will not be reviewed until all of your materials are received. After you submit your application, you will receive an email from UB admissions with login credentials to your applicant status page. This is a really nice portal that you can use to track the status of your application and all of the materials that you are submitting. If there is an item that should have been received and it's not showing as checked off in your checklist, please always contact UB admissions via email or phone to check on the status of that item. Applications are reviewed in order of the upcoming semester, so while we do accept spring and fall applications simultaneously, we will not be reviewing both semesters at the same time. If the spring semester is coming up, that is what we will be focusing on our review, and we will not start reviewing fall applications until after the spring semester has begun. Then you'll receive your admissions decision from UB, and that will be an electronic admissions decision to your email. After you've been admitted to UB, then the School of Nursing will begin our review, and your application must include a resume in order to be reviewed. Since the resume is a School of Nursing admissions item, it will not show in your applicant status page as a checklist item. You can be admitted and reviewed by UB admissions without having to submit a resume, but if the School of Nursing does not have your resume, we are still considering your application incomplete and will not do a review. If we have any questions about your application, we will contact you via email. Any applicants with a GPA below 2.5 are required to submit supplemental materials, and we would reach out to you via email at that time. We will give you instructions on what materials we need and a deadline for submission, and failure to submit required materials by that deadline will result in a denial. You will then receive your final decision from the School of Nursing, typically within 2 to 3 weeks after you have been admitted to the university, and your decision will come again via email. All of our email communication throughout the application and admissions process will be to the email address that you put on your application. Please be sure that you spelled your email address correctly and that it is an email address you regularly check. Please also be sure to check your spam folder, as some emails may end up there as well. We have rolling admission, and it is based on space availability. So while we don't have an application deadline, we do have to close our application. Typically, this may happen anywhere from 2 to 5 weeks before the semester starts. So if you know you want to come to UB, please get your application in early, as this changes every year, and we don't want you to miss the chance to apply to UB. Finally, we do have a little bit of an overview of our tuition and fees, which are set each semester by SUNY and the University at Buffalo. The estimated tuition and fees for a New York State resident in a fully online program is around $380 per credit. For the total 32 credit program, this comes out to about $12,200. This obviously excludes any additional graduation requirements that you may need to complete, including statistics, any general education courses, upper division courses, so those courses at the 300 or 400 level, or if you need to complete any additional elective credits to get up to that 88 credit threshold. Obviously, all of those additional courses will add on to your total cost. Your total cost per semester will also vary based on the number of credits that you are registered in each semester. Students who are enrolled in 12 or more credits during the fall and spring semester will be charged the per semester rate, but since we do have some 2-credit courses in the program, students on the part-time plan and students in our full-time plan may be registered in 11 credits or fewer, and those students would be charged our per credit rate, which is why we use that rate here on the screen for a more accurate estimate of your total cost. Tuition estimates are based on our current rates for the 2025-2026 academic year and are subject to change, so I always recommend checking the UB Student Accounts website for the most up-to-date information as it is posted by the university. In terms of funding, we always recommend applicants check with their employer to see if tuition assistance is an option. We have a number of students who are able to take advantage of a variety of tuition remission, waivers, etc., so see if that is an option for you. We also have School of Nursing scholarships that are made available once per year after students have enrolled in the program. Typically, these applications will open in the fall semester, and we will contact all of our continuing and new students regarding what opportunities are available for application. We also recommend that students complete the FAFSA each year, and they require you to enroll in at least 6 credit hours per semester. For students who are on our part-time plan, again, since we have some 2-credit courses, we want to make sure that every student who's receiving financial aid keeps an eye on what requirements they have for maintaining that aid so that we can adjust your schedule as needed. Our school code is here on the screen, but you can also find that code on the UB Financial Aid website. Thank you so much for taking the time to review our information session today. If you have any questions about the RN2BS program, you can contact nursing@buffalo.edu for more information. Have a great day.